Hello and welcome to the Fut-Afrique channel. My name is Brian Mofokens. In studio for today, we got Lufuno.
Hello, Brian.
Yeah, Inda, Barmi.
Ndio Barmi.
No was obudi mane.
That's good.
Unakakati yange na churena.
Big ones, eh?
Zuko konda.
Zuko konda na churena.
Let's talk about, last week we had a wonderful time. The Soweto Derby arrived again, 179 Soweto Derby, won by the Buccaneers by 1-0. Building up to that derby, everybody spoke about how Chiefs has done well in the derby recently, especially in the league matches, Jose Riviero had only won one game against Chiefs, which was when they played in a cup tie. But in the league matches, Pirates lost those matches against Kaizer Chiefs. What do you make of the whole derby experience on the day? You were at the stadium, I know that. How did everything go for you?
I think from a supporters' perspective, from both teams, they did turn up. They made an event as usual. But from the playing personnel, I think Pirates really wanted to win the game. They showed up from the first whistle. And I think, the interim coach of Kaizer Chiefs, I think he was a bit scared to really, go toe-to-toe to Pirates. You could see from the lineup perspective, he was negative. He had about 7 defenders in that lineup.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the part, in the lineup part about it. You're saying that he has 7 defenders in that match. What did you expect him to do coming into that game, given the fact that they played on a Wednesday against Cape Town Spurs, a game where Chiefs managed to score 3 goals, something they haven't done in a very long time this time around. And they got away with the points. They got the victory there ahead of the Soweto Derby. People always tell you that the Soweto Derby result differences don't count for anything else. So what should have been the approach for Chiefs on the day against Orlando Pirates?
Look, I think he made unnecessary subs. If you look at the game against Cape Town Spurs, he took out Frosler out. For me, he's the best right back at Kaizer Chiefs, and then he played, a defender, which is basically Quinica is not a right back or anything. He's a central defensive-minded player. Yeah. Meaning that you're not going to see him going forward. He's not going to give you anything going forward. You had Saile that came in and scored. So you expect a player that just scored the previous match, you need to start him because the confidence is high and he wants to, there's no big stage like the Soweto Derby. So I thought he was a bit negative. And again, he started with 3 more or less similar players, Mart, Tetwa and Castillo. They're not really creative players going forward. Yeah. Yes, they will give you what you're looking for, they will close the space and all that, but when they have the ball, they're not going to really be creative and create chances. So they're on its own limited Kaizer Chiefs going forward.
From a management point of view, from Kaizer Chiefs, when they brought him to be the interim coach for Kaizer Chiefs, do you think they should have given a date to say we want to have an interim coach from this date until to this date, and we expect to have a head coach by this time? Or is it okay just to leave it open, to be an open-ended situation? It's
a dangerous game. I think for a team like Kaizer Chiefs, as big as they are, when you fire a coach, you need to manage the expectations of the supporters. And doing that, when you appoint an interim coach, most definitely you need to have a deadline to say, we're putting an interim coach, we're going to the AFCON break, we will work around that when by, say, hypothetically by January, when the league reopens, we will be having a new coach. Basically, the coach will have a full pre-season again with the players. So they should be thinking along that line. Unless if, the idea was always been the same that we're going to bring in Kevin Johnson to observe because they knew that something will happen with Mlifi. And when Mlifi shifted, then they are appointing their coach so that he mustn't be that much under pressure, and they use the word interim coach.
I will take you back a bit. Okay, we're talking about an interim coach that's sitting there. So already now they play 3 matches under him. Yeah. It can't all be that bad and everything that he has done is so bad. What positive can he take from the matches that he's been in charge of so far at Kaizer Chiefs? Is there anything positive you're going to talk about from that part?
Let's look at when he came in. Chiefs were conceding goals and Chiefs were not scoring enough goals. Yeah. Have they changed? No. Okay. So there is no much of a positivity that you can look at, And we all watched the derby. I think I saw something very disturbing from a fan perspective where you see a player, when he got the ball and then he's throwing hands on the air. That for me, the synergy shows it's not there between the players. So I think most importantly what he needs to do, he needs to command respect from the players. And then I think things will start following.
Talk about this, Lifuno. I mean, you are a fan that's followed the game. You're a supporter of the team because you are there whether they win or they lose.
Yeah.
But you all know that when you start scoring goals and you start believing in yourself, you actually play better. Yeah. So don't you think there's some stuff that the fans have got to do with this? Because if your own fans are booing you and continuously attacking you, at some stage you're not going to be able to get the confidence back to be able to play the right football. What should you be doing as a supporter of Kaizer Chiefs to make sure that the team does get a positive result going forward?
I think for the fact that supporters are still buying tickets and go to the stadium, Brian, it is a sign that they want to support the team. And we must also give supporters credit.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Let's look at this. The game the Chiefs won, when with Kevin Johnson on the bench, there were no fans that day.
Yeah.
The 2 matches they played with fans, they lost both those matches.
Yeah. True that.
So surely, without the fans, Chiefs looks a better team. With the fans, there's a problem. So what are you doing there, suppose? Because when you support the team, you support the team through good and bad.
I agree, and Chiefs has been doing that for good 9 years, supporting Chiefs without winning. So we can't say now, today, that Chiefs is not winning, now we want to push it to the supporters. So I don't think it's a true reflection of what is happening in Kaizer Chiefs. And the fact of the matter is that supporters are still filling up stadiums when Kaizer Chiefs play. If they play out of Johannesburg, it will be a full house. So, I mean, we can't really blame that squarely to the supporters. They have expectations. Some of us, we are spoiled by Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I mean, we grew up knowing that Kaizer Chiefs cannot finish the season without a trophy. Now it's been 9 years, but we're still here. We didn't change. So it means that we still have the love for the team.
I saw you brought your cute sheets, and I mean, one of them is 11, one is just 7, and they're both Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
One has experienced the joy of a derby, of winning a trophy, for that matter. Maybe it was only 1 or 2 years, doesn't really know much.
Yeah.
But a 7-year-old hasn't actually had anything so far.
He knows nothing.
In his support of the Amakosi.
Yeah.
Chris spoke to your nemesis, your arch rival when it comes to the space, that is Mpoza.
Yeah.
And Mpoza said, Itumeleng Khune no business to be starting in a derby. What is your take on that?
I agree with you.
Why?
He played about eight games or 7 games to be precise. He has not kept a clean sheet. And for that matter, Kaizer Chiefs lost all the games that he played.
Okay.
I've looked closely to the goals that he concedes. That is not Itumeleng Khune that I know. We need to give credit. Yes, he's a legend of Kaizer Chiefs. He has done a lot for Kaizer Chiefs. But I think we took long again as Kaizer Chiefs. Always big mistake that we take long to see a problem and act on it. And I think Khune, he could have been on the bench as a number 4 goalkeeper, just to encourage the guys. And the guys that are there, the new guys, would look at him as source of encouragement. But I don't think Khune should be a number 1 goalkeeper for Kaizer Chiefs.
Let's take it back a bit. You're saying Khune shouldn't have been on a goals. It should be a number 1 goalkeeper. Brendan Peterson has been given a chance. He has made horrible mistakes.
Horrible, yeah.
So when you have Itumeleng Khune, you've got Brendan Peterson, who have all played. Bruce Vuma hasn't played as yet this season. If you're saying Itumeleng Khune must be dropped, where must Khune go? Because legendary status will always come in to say, this is a player that can actually play in the he's got a BMT. He's been able to win matches for you. Yes, I know his record in the derby is not the best of records. We don't want to delve and go deep in the derby numbers. But on a day, he had just done well in the game against Cape Town Spurs. You can't just drop him because you're going to play the next game.
Well, Brian, I want to take you, let's look at Mpo's camp. I don't want to make examples about Sundowns, but let me now go there.
Yeah.
Sundowns realized that Onyango is gone, and they bought Williams. Onyango is there. He's sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
He's a 2nd or 3rd goalkeeper now there. They've done well, swiftly and quickly, to replace him.
Yeah.
And which they've done very well. I can take you back to Kaizer Chiefs. They replaced Brand Baloyi very fast with Khune and Fernandez.
Yeah, Fernandez.
They did it quickly. They already knew that the time of Brand Baloyi is coming to an end. And they had players that can compete with him, not just being guys that are sitting on the bench, but they competed with Brand Baloyi for the better part of his last career at Kaizer Chiefs. So that is what we call planning. So this time around, Kaizer Chiefs failed to play around Khune. Khune cannot play forever. So we've got Bryce Vuma. we're not confident to play that ball. For me, it's a waste of resources to develop him.
Yeah.
If you can't play him, then get him out, loan him, let him prove himself outside of Kaizer Chiefs' comfort zone. Because, Khune has made mistakes this season. Peterson has made horrible mistakes. But Vuma hasn't been given a chance. Why is he not given a chance? Is he not good enough to play for Kaizer Chiefs? If not, then you must release him and then go and get somebody outside, anyone that you feel that can bring competition and stability in that position. Goalkeeper, are key positions in the team. So you need to talk, this is part of the spine of the team.
But I think, Lufuna, we have to be honest here at some stage. If you look at the news, Chiefs has made a lot of new signings.
Yeah.
Especially look at the central pairing. Goalkeeper in defense, there you have Msimango alongside Itokwe, and both are new players.
Good
central
players.
Defense.
Absolutely good players.
They're new players, one, so they still need to build a rapport to be able to work with that back four that you're talking about at Kaizer Chiefs, one. Then you've got Castillo who's come in as a new player. You've got Ntetwa, that you guys literally wanted at Chiefs. Management eventually brought him to Kaizer Chiefs. You have Chivavaviro, who did very well last season for Marumo Garland, scoring goals for fun. You also had Mtanzani coming as a new player into the team as you look at the stability that you brought into the team. Given those new signings, surely you should be fighting in the top 4, top 3 at the moment.
I agree with you. I think Chiefs, I don't know what happens. They do one area, they do it very right.
Yeah.
And then they neglect the other area.
Which area is that they do?
The coach, no, they sign good players,
Yeah.
as you said. There's Modi there, there's Potane there.
Yeah.
They've really brought a bit of competition in the team, the stability in the team. The bench looks a little bit healthier compared to last season. But the biggest problem was the coaching. Kaizer Chiefs, we all know that they were looking for a coach.
Yeah.
And the coach that they were looking for, they didn't get him, and then they made a panic appointment in that coaching department.
Yeah.
Then they used the personnel that they have already in the team and Mulife Ntseki to go and coach. Do you really blame Mulife? No, because he never said he wanted to coach Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs forced him to get into that position, to be honest. And again, it's the same thing. They saw that he was struggling. Did they go and look out for a coach? No. Then they appointed another interim coach who happened to be working or appointed for a development position.
Yeah.
So I think the coaching part of it it's a big problem in Kaizer Chiefs. We need to stabilize that department, have a coach that is a clear mandate on the players, clear goals that he wants to achieve as a coach, and let it be known to the supporters. This is what Kaizer Chiefs wants to achieve in the next year, 2 years. And the supporters can be able to work with the team through the objectives that I've put on the table with the team. Currently, we appoint and then there is no objectives, there's no goals, and let's hope that tomorrow happens.
Let's now look at going forward.
Yes.
The matches have been played, you can't change anything on the results. You cannot even change whatever that could have gone wrong in those particular matches. Now you have 4 matches before we go into the AFCON break.
Yeah.
So during this time now that we have international break at the moment, what should Chiefs be doing to prepare for the next matches? They've got Swallows away, Polokwane City away. They have Richards Bay, whom they're hosting, before they wrap up the year with a game against Ukun United. Those 4 matches, how many points do you think Chiefs realistically will collect in those 4 matches?
I had this discussion last week with Chris, and we were looking at about possible 18 points, and I projected about 14 of those points.
Okay.
So now, 4, it gives you 12 points.
Yeah.
Realistically, I think Chiefs can get away with 9. Can get away with 9.
But how are they going to? You see, they can get away.
Yeah.
Will they get away with those?
I'm not confident enough.
Where will they get those 9 points?
Well, I looked at Polokwane just sacked the coach, so they can get 3 points in Polokwane. Richards Bay, they can get another 3 points.
Whoa, they can get 3 points off Richards Bay.
They can.
They can.
Yeah.
Swallows?
I don't think so. Swallows is doing very well. They're very stable.
Yeah.
Kaizer Chiefs really struggles with teams that are very defensive organized. And knowing Steve Kompela really like to put one over Kaizer Chiefs. And I think the best result Kaizer Chiefs will get there will be a draw.
So that's what you think. Those are the numbers you think you're going with.
Yeah.
All right. So against the last game against Khune, who just sacked their coach recently, by the way.
Yeah, Khune has always been a very dodgy team when they play Kaizer Chiefs. they're a very dodgy team playing against Kaizer. Kaizer Chiefs have beaten Khune already in the league. I think Chiefs can get another 3 points there.
You think they'll get another 3 points there? Okay, cool. That's Lufuno saying the Chiefs will get at least 9 out of the 12 possible points in the next 4 matches before we go to the end of the year and build up for the AFCON tournament. Don't go away, because on the other side of this, we will chat something interesting. It is International Week at the moment. Yeah, I know Chiefs only have one player, but Bafana are involved.